So, good morning, morning people. How are you? Thanks a lot to Creative Time for having Saladocs on this stage. So, in a time of memorandum and referendum, your curriculum becomes even more relevant, and it's easy to understand why. Consequently, I could have used this 10 minutes to present our CV. I could have told you about why and how we did occupy in 2007 a space in Venice, an activist and art space in Venice. I could have told you about Open, a project based on the horizontal organization of a collective exhibition that, while deconstructing traditional art roles, investigates the city. I could have told you about Rebiennale, a project of recycling and reuse of the wasted materials of the Biennale itself. I could have told you about our direct actions and occupation for art workers' rights. I could have told you about our strike, about our international meetings and publication, about the Nationalist Pavilion, which will be a project that we'll have in October, next October. I could have told you about our contribution to the movement against big cruise ships in Venice. Of course, I will not, otherwise I would have done this introduction. As often happens, as an activist and art-related collective, we were invited to bring local issues on the table. So that's why I'm really trying to get into the character of the local. And even better, I will present you, I'm introducing to you a brand new character. That is the post-local art worker and activist. You see him there. So, who are these post-locals? In town, we are just locals. Everyone at home is just local. And I will now perform an hypothetical dialogue between me and someone from the management of La Biennale di Venezia. The management, not some precarious worker. Mr. Biennale goes first. Hello, Marco. And I answer. Hello, Mr. Biennale. Mr. Biennale said, you didn't show up this year. Pavilions look so empty without you occupying them. And he smiles to me, meaning, you're getting old, guys, huh? And I answer, actually, this year we occupied the terrace of the Guggenheim Foundation in Venice, together with Gulf labor people in solidarity with the migrant workers building the Guggenheim Museum in Abu Dhabi. We also support Gulf BDF statement, and you should sign it too. And I smiled to him. And I mean, you're not the only art institution in town, you know? Okay, bye. So this is the end of the hypothetical dialogue. Then, of course, he goes back home by taxi to his luxury apartment while I'm stuck in some overcrowded Vaporetto, imagining how and if I will pay my rent in 6 months. But these are only tedious leftovers of class divide, and post-local do not complain. So apologize for complaining. So for this kind of people, for the management of some global art events, I'm only a boring, grown-up, and polite troublemaker. An interference sometimes. But when the global art world lands somewhere, when finally the event takes place in some place, temporarily deviating art from its primary ontology of a flux of emails, Skype calls, press releases, jet lags, tweets, financial operation, and so on, then finally we are requested. Brave art explorers, on behalf of best-funded global art institution, explore the social ruins of European cities, looking for us. We are exotic. We are the new exotic. The advantage with us is that we speak your language, we know how to use Skype, and we know how to sign a basic contract. We are self-trained indigenous, ready for your circus. So, what am I? What are we doing here or elsewhere in this event? Am I complicit with the system? Am I a victim? Am I almost naked life in front of the capturing power of the art event economy? You bet I'm not. Exactly the opposite. Post-local is a serious parody of the post-colonial. It is a figure of power. It looks straight in the eyes the neoliberal global art device. It is a force that is marching. It is in a position of subalternity, of course, but we do not believe in destiny. We make transformation happen. Art is our battlefield, and we fight on and off stage, as many others did before us, and many others will do after us. Art is no economic interstice. It is no interruption of the capitalistic valorization model. Art is a laboratory of governmentality. Art, it is a field of power relationships, and as such, these power relationships can be changed. We move, but we resist your golden diaspora designed for working poors. We carry the stigmata of belonging, those that many are trying to wash away from their hands. But it is clear, we do not belong to homelands, we do not belong to countries, we do not belong to global cities. Belonging for a post-local activist means to belong where the smooth, inclusive, self-organized, network, deterritorialized, nomadic space of arts morphs into a space of invisible borders, guarded thresholds, cultural Darwinism, unpaid or precarious labor, neoliberal urban policies, parasite landlords, financial speculation, and branding operations. Yeah, not an happy landscape, I understand. Mr. Ramboza, referring to the biennial format, once argued that the space for certain exhibition practices is the gap between Guy Debord's notion of spectacle and Mikhail Bakhtin's notion of the carnivalesque. Here, the carnivalesque is understood as a stageless spectacle, where there is no more difference between actors and spectators, where the usual norms and social hierarchies are interrupted, where antinomies between the high and the low, the wise and the silly fall down, where, through profanation, the use value is affirmed over what is normally separated in the sphere of the sacred. I have too much time. So why does he look away? Why is he so afraid of recognizing the truth that he perfectly knows, that this in-between is instead a totally within? But again, does being within mean that we are defeated by the status quo? Once more, the answer is no. On the contrary, acknowledging our eternity is the a priori condition to organize our being against. Art is an ingredient in creating post-local colonies under the neoliberal order, but it is at the same time a tool for liberation. And we, the post-locals, we are indigenous and settlers at the same time. That means that the choice is up to us. Shall we wait the next Lent after Carnival, or shall we start to organize our post-local carnival of uprisings? Thank you, and I'll leave you with this question. And thank you. And since I have more than 1 minute, I want to just say that you should join us tonight at Sale Docs, which is the space that I didn't talk about in this presentation. And there's going to be very good music. So he's playing with his band because we thought that this guy deserved not only to be in the position, the one who interrupts the people, but also in the position of making the people come together and make them dance. So join us at Sale Docs tonight. So, thank you.